What's been going on, man? How you been?
I've been good, man. I've just been getting on with the training, to be honest. Just I mentioned before, I've been around. I travelled up to a local prison to do some teach some prisoners. They have a program where they have their own dogs in there for the day, every day for the week, just teaching them mechanics of luring and having fun with them. But other than that, just been working my own dogs, really.
Okay, so I'm gonna just shoot through a couple questions and just kind of let the people get to know you a little bit. How long have you been into dog training?
I mean, into training 5 years, but at a level where I feel like it's starting to happen and work. Probably the last like 2, maybe 3 years. I feel like it's starting to pick up, but about 5 years now.
Okay, 5 years. That's not too long, but it's long enough to start getting in your groove and start because you really got you honed in on um the obedience, especially looks
I
real
mean,
nice.
for me, that's what I love to do. So regardless of the money, regardless of the clients, like if I didn't do it as a job, I'd be doing that every day with my own dogs, right? And then you get to a point where, I mean, everybody always says advanced obedience or etc. etc. But I just think that that's just really extreme foundations. I feel like it's just foundations brought all the way through, right? So
Right,
I just feel like it's just a continuation of enjoying it and wanting to progress.
right. I feel like I started off probably, I ain't gonna say the wrong way, but I started off differently. Like before like the new wave of education training has came around, I started off with like no treats and
Mm.
stuff like that, which was horrible. Like I wasn't able to get the behaviors that I was looking for
Yeah.
in you know.
The same for me. So when I first started, it wasn't. So it took me a while to believe that I needed to hand feed my dog. You know,
Right.
I would be asking people for help, like how can I get them motivated? Like, why is he not doing all this cool stuff, right? Like he's just not fast or whatever, and oh, you need to hand feed it, and I'd always be like, oh, no way. Same as most people. Like I have that same conversation with clients today. That's what you need to be doing. Um, yeah, but I just learned, I guess, but it was never pretty and perfect from day one.
Right. So who got you into it? Like who's your mentors or people that you started being around to start kind of learning the craft?
So this is kind of a crazy question for me because no mentors. I've not done any courses. I just started. Obviously, I've got friends now, but I'll start from the beginning. So I started like watching videos, how-to videos, right? And this would be
Mhm.
how-to videos on more, hill positions, sender ways, weaving through my legs or whatever. And then I just kind of developed a way of like I wanted to see how I could connect these moves together. So I would just mess around, like got more into luring, be watching more people. Now I've got good friends around me that are good dog trainers, and you're constantly learning, right?
Right. So
But
you would say that you've gotten better um or developed more, learned more since you've been around like the professional people?
yeah, just people with a higher standard. So I always feel like you should never be the biggest fish in the pond,
That's a fact. That's a fact. I learned that
because if
uh
you go, if you go some like in, and obviously it's fine for whoever does whatever they do, but I think that if you go somewhere and you're the main source of um learning for people, it's hard for you to progress, right?
it is, yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So being around people that just even people that think differently to you. I'm very like my training is very much movement and like manipulation of the dog using like movement and like control that way and momentum even, right? And then some people are very intellectual in the way that they talk about dog training, and you could speak to me in a certain way with certain words and it just goes over my head. Like I don't kind of learn that way. I learn better through explaining my way through moving and doing it together, right? And showing. So I just think being around people that are good at this, there's people that are good at that, and then it's not even about my way's any better than your way, or their way's any better than my way. It's about taking like golden nuggets from things that you may never have tried and just implicating that stuff into your training. So I feel like everyone can learn from anyone, doesn't matter how skillful you are.
What do you think is uh a way that sticks better? Like what's better as far as like luring or like free shaping a behavior? Do you think a behavior sticks one way or another?
But I think they both have their like attributes that help the most. But I think if you're looking for sport precision, speed, motivation, then luring, because you can pinpoint the dog and mark exactly. You can build up like a desire in the dog for them behaviors you're teaching at speed and at like the precision of where you're, the reward, where the reward's coming from, how fast, how much you're delivering, all sorts come into play. But free shaping is teaching the dog to use its imagination.
Mm-hmm.
But don't tell me that you can see a free shaped heel that looks as good as a lured one.
Yeah, probably not. So yeah, I kind of use both though. I kind of use both depending on
I
what the
know,
behavior. But
of course.
yeah, so for healing, I wouldn't do that, and for like positional stuff, but like him trying to figure out like going to guard or like send outs or like different behaviors. I'm kind of letting him kind of
If I,
explore.
sorry, go on.
I'm trying to just kind of let him explore on his own and then see how to get the reward. I'll kind of
Of
baby
course,
him
that,
first and then
that's super. That's a really good way for the dog to be using its brain. But I would lure a guard or a send away, and in my opinion, it's just a little bit faster, a little bit more precise. But if it worked, like if we trained and you said, "Look at this way," I'd be like, "I'm trying this. This might be sick." Also, depending on the dog, right? So
right.
so I know people that when you do the send away, yeah, I know people who use the reward over at the wherever they're sending the thing to. I know people that reward to them. I had problems with being really fast out, coming slow back. I used frustration instead of a reward out. So flat collar, boom, and then super speed, jackpot, paid and sorted.
Yeah, yeah. It's a lot of different ways to do things. Like I've when I was coming up, I just try to follow like people like Barbella, and even though he doesn't have a lot of like instructional stuff out, I just try to follow his ways and just people who I've seen with the style that I like. Like I like
Yeah,
the STS guy, Nino.
yeah. So
Nino. Yeah.
he was a big. Obviously, I don't know him. I've spoke to him, chit chatted with him and stuff. But that when I was just scrolling through the internet and I didn't know about there was a dog world and I didn't know there was like all these big cliques and how things there's different types of training. When I was just like loving trade, like just starting, I came across that and that was one of the best for me to see that I found the most exciting.
Right.
That speed and position between movements and stuff like that. That was a big driving force for me to start doing what I was doing as well.
So when did you switch from the obedience to bite work?
So I don't teach bite work. I just do obedience and dog training in that sense. So I don't actually teach. I'm not a decoy. I don't kind of sell that to anyone. When I got my newest dog, Poppet, I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to progress through PSA. So obviously wanted a good biting dog with good nerve, and we're just going down that route. But I'm just as new to that as anyone else.
Okay.
Just like I just it's just the obedience side of it, and then adding in the bite work, it just changes the game completely, right?
Right. Yeah. So Who did you start? Who did you start with bike work with?
So with Poppet at my PSA club, which is Norfolk Nashers, they Alex Steele runs it.
Mm-hmm.
So I took Poppet there when he was 12 weeks, the day he opened the club, and been going there ever since. But now we go Bull Vision, one of the best decoys in this country, and we go there now every week and just building up a monster, you know.
Yeah, I know what it's like, man. I came over there, I think 2017, maybe 2018. And I worked Garvey, Gorilla. I think they had a dog named Logan, I think.
Yeah.
And then I worked those dogs, and I always was like, hey man, when you, because they had a lot of like bully, like
Yeah.
Gorilla look. I didn't even know Gorilla was mixed at first. And then I said that I want to work. I mean, if they ever bred Gorilla to a male, yeah, I would be interested. And so they ended up breeding Deuce to
Mm.
Duty, and then that's one of the dogs that I have.
Yeah. They're amazing team up there, and it's fun. You know, it's laid back, it's chilled, there's not pressure. It's and you go and have fun, and you can do your sports stuff, and you can go and do that hood rat shit. You know, it's fun.
Yeah, Sick'em boy training. That's
And
what I
that's what
like.
I love. That's what I love. My pity. He loves the fighting. He loves the sending him to a bicep and driving him. He don't like that so much. He wants to get mashed up. He wants to be fighting people, and
Right.
and I enjoy doing that because it's fun. But I also, regardless whether I stay doing PSA, regardless, I want to make sure the dog's loving it and having fun. And either way, I'm going to be teaching him obedience. He's going to be healing around the decoys, whether that's hood rat decoy or
Yeah,
sports.
right. Have you
So
um have you titled in PSA though?
no. I was going to do the last one, start do my PDC, but I just don't think the dog's ready, and I actually feel quite a lot of outside pressure because of how good my other dog is. I feel like a lot of people want me to do it just to watch me, and I feel like I'm not ready to, like, he's not ready to do that, and I don't want to rush on and
Which
embarrass myself.
dog? Which dog are you talking about?
Honey, the one that does all the sick obedience.
That's the taller one.
Yeah, she's a Serbian defense dog.
Okay.
Yeah, so obviously she's the dog that put food in my cupboards.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know, she's the one that made me stand out. I've only Hobbit's only a year and a half. I've only had him for the year and a half.
Yeah, it's no rush, man. It's no rush. I don't even know. I put my dog out. I did his PDC at like 14 months.
Mm.
And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because you're gonna have this huge gap in when you go from the PDC to the ones
Mm.
versus you just get them trained the way you like, and then you can go PDC 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly that. Like, I don't want to. I want to go out on that field as if I was walking out with my other dog. Like, I
Mhm.
wouldn't problem. I wouldn't even think I'm going to have a bad day. Do you know what I
Right,
mean?
right. Like
I just
it's
know
the
she's
behavior
solid.
is predictable.
Yeah, I know she's solid, but like if Poppet comes out and he's on fire, then yeah, he's going to be sick. But he can have shit days at the moment. I'm still having, he needs more duration on hill work. I need to sort his hill work out because Tom, Dick, and Harry would all say, "Oh, he's fire," but my standard is not good enough, man. And I'm not going to go out on pressure because you want me to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yes, definitely. I understand definitely. Like it's been over a year since I've tried with Reaper, and they're
Mm.
like, "Oh, you're gonna go for the ones." I mean, I was gonna go this September, but
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't really think that I don't really think that it's time. Like he's showing me stuff that I don't like, and I don't want to just pass. I want to have like high
That's what
score.
I want to be up there. I want to be getting 62, 63, 64s. I want to be up there high. I'm not going in there just to get a fucking 55 and bounce.
You're right, right. No, I understand. A participation medal.
But some people are cool with that. Some people just want to get the title. But I'm I'm not even sure if that's where I want to be at right now. Like, I'm not even sure if that's where I'm going to continue to do. Like, I'm just enjoying training, man, wherever it takes me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely understand that. Like, so what was you doing for like regular work before you started training
So,
dogs?
dog training. I was a roofer,
Mhm.
um, and I had a heart attack. So that obviously, so yeah, I had a heart attack, had to have an operation on my heart. And then after that, my life kind of changed a bit because I was 28, so I was going out, you know, to the pub every weekend or whatever, and I couldn't. So my friends kind of half fell away, and I was a bit more like anxious of going out and stuff because of my heart. So I bought a dog as like a mate. And that's how it started. So I would take him to the park. I thought, how am I going to get this dog to like do whatever I want? I can take it anywhere. And then that's how it started. I just grafted. I always say the difference, like then, between like me and most people is that I just didn't stop working. I always say like you don't need, you know, with that, you don't need money, you don't need connections, you don't need friends in high places, you don't need a favor, you need a dog and you need food. And you can pretty much get yourself, depending on how hard you're going to work, how much you're going to learn, you can do that on your own.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, cool. How do I sound to you? Is it clear?
Yeah, yeah, it sounds good, man. Looks good. Sounds good.
Okay, cool. Um, so yeah, I think we was talking about getting into bike work, the bike club, and all that stuff. Like
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, like I said, like I just joined the club and just progressively going through it and getting more into it as I progressed through that, you know. But like I'm kind of in between at the moment, like just doing more fun bike work, you know. I'm just in between that. Obviously, I love all the control. Like I never want to just have a dog that you send. You know what I mean? Like to me, the obedience is important, but um, I just want to make sure it's for me. You know what I mean?
right, right. Have you been to the US at all?
No, 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 not yet.
Oh, never.
No, I'm planning too soon though.
Okay, 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 okay.
Yeah,
Do you plan on
go on,
you'll
sorry.
come over here? It'll be like dog stuff or like a vacation holiday.
But my partner lives over. Um, so I'll be going over to obviously see her and spend time with her over there because she always comes here. But obviously we're going to do dog stuff. Like she's in the dog world, so all her friends and connections want to work with me over in America. So just going to see what happens. You know, you never know. I might be an American citizen someday too.
Yeah. So you have a lady
Yeah.
in America, but
Say again.
she must be from over there, from where you from.
No, it's from California.
Okay.
We met. Do you know that grassroots canine? They do that March Madness.
Yeah, I know. When you were recording the video for everybody to vote on and all that,
Yeah, yeah, that's how I met her in there.
it's a young woman in there.
Yeah, Hazel the Bully is her Instagram.
Yeah, I know. I see
Yeah,
that.
yeah. That's how I met her on there, really. Like, and it just progressed from there.
Oh, she's nice, bro. I like her. I love her dog, bro.
Yeah, yeah, sick. And
Yeah,
she beat me in the bike work challenge by 12 votes, and she don't ever let me forget it.
yeah, man. I think that the control that she has on her dog is crazy. Like,
Yeah,
is
it's sick.
she passes, right?
Say that again.
She already has her twos.
Yeah. She's training for the threes now. Yeah, good, sick.
No.
Yeah, good dog, man. It's mad. She's not even a dog trainer. Mad.
Yeah, she's a dog trainer. It's just she doesn't. She probably does other things. You know what I'm saying?
A normal job, like you know what
Yeah,
I mean.
she does.
Yeah, no, but yeah, and yeah. So obviously, when even doing that March Madness thing, to me, that's massive for me, because like, who am I, man? I'm just a guy. I just train my dog at the local park, film my videos, post my videos. You know what I mean? Like, that's all it was. And then when I got asked, I was like, me? And then I thought, who, like, thinking like English. I was thinking, well, there's not that many people that can, obedience is as good as honey is. And then they released the lineup of all the Americans, and I was like, oh,
Right.
but, but it was sick, man. It was sick, and it was fun. It was fun, man.
Yeah, whoever put your videos together put them together pretty good. The ones that you entered into the thing, especially like the bite work one, it was like a storyline.
Yeah, so obviously the first round was healing, and I went against Oscar and Mora, and that was a madness for me. Do you know what I mean? Like, what?
Right.
And then I managed to just scrape it, and I just won that. And we knew, because I knew the obedience I could use Honey, which is my more experienced dog, but with all the flashy stuff, right? And then going into the bite work, knew that Poppet was only one. He'd only been on a suit for 2 weeks. Like, he was still learning to launch up in the. So it was a lot of pressure. So we had to make up for that with the professional camera and the angles. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it
yeah.
looked good. It looked good.
Oh,
I voted for you in the obedience part.
oh yeah. So what? Block. No, in
Yeah,
the bite.
definitely in the obedience part. I voted for you. I thought yeah, it was cleaner and more of like they were adding stuff like antics, and I was like,
Yeah,
doesn't make
I wanted to show, because obviously it was healing, right? That was the category, and I just wanted to show that not only can she do a nice heel, but she can do it from left, the right, the middle, in reverse, at speed, in motion thing. I just wanted to like express all the different styles of healing in motion, and I was thinking there's not many people that can like do that. So if that's going to be the I'm going to win off that. I wanted to get to the freestyle round, because in my head I was like, this is my game. Like,
right.
this is fun, you know what I mean? But even being, even them telling me that I got voted to be in there is a mad thing for me. Like, that's a lot. That was a lot for me. So I was happy regardless. But yeah, like, that was kind of the start of, like, I guess people in the States seeing me a lot more.
Yeah, yeah. I think I've shared your stuff a few times. Just because I was just impressed just looking at it, just for somebody who I haven't really seen. Like most of the people on the UK scene, I've seen, um, I've seen them before. So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I hadn't seen you before. So I'm like, oh, but he has some nice work.
Yeah, and,
So
and, and a lot of people comment on the, it's because she's an off breed, like, and stuff like that. Most of it's Malleys and herders and that. So it's good for a lot of people say, oh, you're really good with bull breeds, and it's like, no, I just happen to have two bull breeds, but it wouldn't matter if it was a spaniel. It would still be
right.
getting, you know what I mean? It would still be doing what I want it to do. So, but yeah, I feel like after that, people started to see me a lot more, show me a lot more appreciation anyway. You know how it is.
Yeah. How long have you been in like business, just training dogs?
3 4 years, maybe 3 years.
Oh, you got started right away. So if you've been doing it for five, you just once you locked in on the craft and was able to
Yeah,
multiply, then you just jumped into business.
never started. The perfect client for me is someone that picks it up as a hobby. It's someone that, I've had clients that come with a puppy, and they've done probably some shitty pet training or whatever they've done, like, don't run through doorways, and they've capped the puppy a lot. And then it's more like, I want that person to be, okay, this is a hobby, this is fun. And then it kind of lasts forever, because you always need to be training right. And a lot of people, when they come to you with a problem, they just want that solved, and then they don't care anymore. But when they pick it up as a passion or a hobby, you know, it becomes a lot more. And I've now got people that are dog trainers, and their dogs are really high level obedience, and they love it just as much as I did when I wanted to be seen and was hungrier in the beginning when you're trying to get seen, right? But yeah, and that's just how, like, obviously I do. In an ideal world, people would send me board and trains for just obedience, for just the fancy stuff. Like, that's what I love doing. But also I do the standard, you know, lead, walking, recall, engagement. And then I'll always do, like, when I have my board and trains, yeah, we'll do the problems, the reactivity, or the, you know, the crate training, the lead, walking, the recall. But I'll always do some extra stuff if the dog can, just because I love that anyway. So then when they come to get their dog, I start whipping it around, and they're like, oh shit, and they love it. And it gives people something that they can practice and work on and progress on for fun, taking away the stress of the dogs. Like, you know, you have a dog and it's fucking nightmare on, and you know, and you're worried about it reacting, and it's just sometimes not that enjoyable to be doing that kind of training for people that don't really understand dogs. That makes sense?
Right, for sure, for sure, for sure. Yep.
Mm.
I've been into this a long time, bro. And it's just, I think getting into it, you have to just be around. One, you have to be passionate. And two, you have to be around the right circle of people
Mm.
to elevate your skills. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. I've got, you know, I've got friends that, like, there's been times where I'm like, oh, it's fucking hard, or like I'm not enjoying it, and they're the ones that, like, yeah, but like, you're just gonna be average. Like, you do want to just be all right. Like, and then, you know, you have this fire in, I just want to be better, and I just want to be better, I just want to be better. And that's where it comes from, is that you have to you have to want to do it. And that doesn't mean I'm like that all the time. I literally, the other day, I've had days where I'm like, oh fucking, I don't even want to take the dogs out, I'm tired, or the training, I'm getting stressed with the training. And, you know, especially with my newer dog, because I look back, and but then you kind of forget how hard it was with my other dog, because she's good now. Because when I take her out, I'm not stressed. The training's fun. We make the reels. It's just, we just smash out with training, and it's a laugh, right? And then when I'm going to train Poppet, I'm really like stressed and focused, because I want to be better. So that from wanting to be better brings me pressure. Whereas when I was training my other dog, I felt like nobody was watching. I didn't have no Instagram account. I wasn't competing in any type of thing. Nobody knew who I was. So it's fun. I was teaching all of these cool moves, probably a bit too much. You know, people would tell me I'm rushing. People would say you shouldn't do it in this order. And I just found a kind of groove, you know, I just found a niche of what I love doing. So, and stuck to it. And then I'm just here now. That's just how it's come about for me, really.
Yeah, man. I wanted to do something with like a competition with just obedience still. Like, I don't, you know, it's a lot, it kind of cuts a lot of people out when you say, oh, this is about bite work, you know, bite work and obedience. But I kind of want to do something where it's all obedience on different levels, you know. And then
Yeah, mate, I'll be in there.
yeah, just together. But yeah, if you come to the States, bro, we'll definitely like link up. Like, I try to link when Tyler came over here, I linked up with him a few times when he was in Florida. Do you train with what's the other guy's name? Perfection?
No, I don't train with them. They're quite far from me, but I know them. I know them. Yeah, they're really, really good.
He's been smashing it out with the PSA stuff, bro.
Yeah, he's got his first leg of his 3. You should have seen it. Like, it was silent. You know, like, even when at the last one, when he did his second leg of his 2, like when he was doing it, it was like, there was so much, you know, like everyone was watching, like, silence. It was so sick. It was so sick. But he's on fire, man. He's on fire. Like, he
Yeah.
lives it. So, like, he's got it, man. Their whole team's got it. They're good. They work hard.
Yeah, I see that, man. You have a group of people that have the same passion, the same drive, same goals. It's easier to kind of get where you want to go versus people just being scattered training. Like, This
Yeah.
person does section, this person does PSA, this person
Mm.
does IP, like, and everybody doesn't have the same goal. If you have everybody's goal is to be the best that they can be in whatever you're doing, you're gonna kind of progress faster, and
Yeah.
you can see the system is wide. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 100%. That's why I like. I like having, like, in an ideal world for me, I'd have people that are all doing the same thing, but the way that they do it is a bit different. So you would have people that are really good at like the scientific way of training and talking about it and explaining it in that sense. And then I like people that just have different ideas from the same thing but points of view. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, like sometimes we can talk about the same thing but see it from a different angle.
Yeah,
and
for
and
sure.
and then I just feel like that's what you want, as long as you're all going in the same direction. And also to have people around you that don't just tell you you're amazing all the time. So like, it's also like when your dog's at a higher level in whatever you do, you'll find it harder to find people to criticize you, because most, like, when people are looking up, it's good anyway. It's good anyway.
Yep.
And some hard to find someone to pick out them. I could to pick out the mistakes. So for me, having friends that like, one of my good friends who will rip my work apart for me, and won't like sugarcoat what I'm doing right over what I need to be doing to make it better. And then sometimes that's what I need to put my ass in gear. You know.
So are you into the more scientific stuff and the way the dog's thinking, why he's thinking what he's thinking, and the theories and applying different
I
things?
I think I'm more like a feel. Like I like to feel a connection with my dog, and sometimes I find it really hard to explain because it's like inside. It's like when I'm training with my dog, I'm in her head. We're moving together. You can predict her steps. She knows the system. She knows what we're doing, how we're doing it, and I just like that way of training. I would rather have motivation, speed, and precision over like perfectness, and then tidy it up as we go through. Like I kind of feel that that's how I get the best out of what I'm doing. So
How,
we can do it a bit wrong because we can tidy that up. But if we get the right state of mind and the right attitude from the animal, then it's a good path.
how important would you say that um like reading the dog is? Like, I have my own uh ideas about this, but I try to explain to people, like, reading a dog and the way a dog feels and how it's taking the information from you is almost the biggest key of
Yeah, 100.
connecting it to do what you.
I've seen, I've watched dogs recently that are training, and they do the routine. They do the thing that the person's asking, but they're confused. There's conflict. The dog doesn't trust the owner. All these things come into play, but it doesn't matter to that certain owner because the dog's doing it, right? I would say that that's wrong, in my opinion. I would say that's not right because there's not clarity there. So I believe that I believe that reading the dog is super important. So the main thing, like, if my dog's not enjoying what we're doing, or expressing feelings that aren't going to help what we're working towards or doing, then that is a big problem. Do you not think?
Yep, it is.
Hmm.
What if you can tell someone who's training, they just started training, and if it's, or one thing that you can tell yourself differently from the time you started training to now, as far as it comes to like applying obedience?
Oh, slow, nice and slow. You, I That's a hard question. Keep learning. Open minds lead to open doors. I say that there's not a wrong way. There isn't a wrong way because so many methods work. But don't do what you're not comfortable with doing. Learn as much as you can. Work hard. That like I feel like these are super important principles for you to do well, not only in dog training but in anything.
Yeah. If I had to answer that question, I would just say it's patience. Like my patience has grown so much. Like I would want to get a dog to do something in 2-3 weeks versus now I'm like 6 months. I'm saying behavior, cleaning it up, making it,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly like for me. I'm not a very patient person in general life. Like, so having the different types of dogs. So my bigger dog is super sensitive and super. She could fucking fold from verbal corrections. She doesn't like it. She's soft. She's super friendly, nice dog. So with her, it's more woohoo, yay, training, right? Super fun.
Yeah.
And then with Poppet, he's so much more dog, and it's so much more stressful for me. And then I have to learn to deal with that myself, because you can ruin. If I go out training and I'm not even at where I need to be to train, and I'm already stressed. Straight away, that's affecting your work. Straight away, the dog knows. So
Yeah.
that is very important. But I feel like everyone's got things that they need to be working on outside of even handling the dog to make it better.
Yeah, right. Like sometimes I try to get people who are just handling just to learn how to handle, even outside of actually having the dog on their side. It's a lot of things that you need to know just with the luring, the footwork, to how to bring when it's giving a treat.
Yeah, for example, when I was in that prison with helping them, and they went in there and wanted to be taught loads of cool moves and stuff, but actually we needed to show them how to hold food, show them that when you're luring your dog, like it's on, have it nice, close, how to move your hands around. Some people like move wrong, and when you hold the food wrong, the dog's like peppering at your hand, teaching all of this stuff before we even start training the dog. This is just to get the dog to, what about engagement? Some dogs don't even care if the owner's alive. They're just with them.
Right. Yeah.
And I've had clients, literally, I have them all the time, and the dog will check in every now and then, and then it bounces, and we need to make that dog love, like the dogs don't love you how we love them, right? They love the need for you. And like, so I say to people, what are you bringing to the table then? You just put it on the lead and it drags you around the park. You let it play with all the dogs. It's got toys all around the house and it eats out of a bowl. Tell me what you're bringing to that dog's life. Give it to me. It'll forget about you in a week.
Right. Right. The dog definitely has to, you have to create a want that the dog wants to be around you, or a need. I try to tell my clients all the time, like when a dog's a puppy and it's nursing, it follows its mom around. All has a need to be around her. She's my supply of survival. And if you
Exactly.
create that same bond, then you can get a lot done.
And that's what I'm saying. And I feel like that's the hardest thing for people to do. That was the hardest thing for me to start doing, because I just didn't think that it would have to be that strict. Like when I say to people, you need to hand feed your dog, and they've got a fat XL bully that's never done any training in its life, I'm saying don't feed it for a day or 2 days. And to them, it's like torture. They think they're starving the dog. I said, we're not starving the dog, because you offer the food, right? You offer the food and the dog's turning his nose up. The thing ain't hungry. Like, where's this relationship? You need to sort it out, And I think that stage of dog training is the hardest for people to get through, because like we said, we want everything quick time, right?
Right.
People see our dogs, my dog, your dog, and they go, I want this. How can I do this in a week, in a month, in 2 months? And actually, like, it can take that long to get your dog to care about you. Let alone,
Right.
let alone jumping through hoops. So yeah, that's
Yep.
where we're at.
So where do you see yourself in the next 2 years or so?
You know what? Just continually progressing, man. I'd love to have my own place to train from. You know, but really and truly, I just want to be better. Like, I just want to continue training my dogs, get to the highest level I can in whatever I do, and just enjoy it. And I feel like taking away, a lot of people train dogs for business only, and I feel like that's quite a downfall in any job, right? I feel like if you should do what you love doing, it shouldn't matter. Obviously, look, it's good to get paid. Everyone needs to work. I understand that. But what I'm saying is, like, if you love it, it don't feel like you're doing it for work.
For sure.
So you get up at 6 a.m. and you don't want to get out of bed because you're tired. Like, I'll get up at 5:30 because I want to get more reps, for example. You know what I mean? It's just the enjoyment of doing it. But yeah, like, I just want to continue to get better, like, and you know, do more stuff like this, get myself out there more, do more podcasts, train with better trainers, help as many people as I can, hopefully end up having my own facility and just building upon that. Traveling around, obviously in the state, when I go to the States, all the trainers, the sick trainers there, Europe, they've got good trainers, and just do as best as I can, really.
Okay. If you can rip off, just say five people that you would following their page or their walk, who would that be?
What if I could take? If I could what?
5 trainers, who I should follow if I'm a young trainer.
Oh, let me have a think. Let me have a think here. I would say I've got a good friend called that you know, the Xena's owner, Jace. He's a talented, talented guy. His brain is crazy for dog training, and he's obsessed. He helps me more than probably anyone else. Just from being my friend, I'd say he's one of the most talented people in this country, and he's going to be massive at what he does. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I
Just
don't.
mix it up. Who
My,
who who do you like? Just in the UK and the States, people who you've got little gems from?
like, there's the people that have helped me is Jay Gray from Obsidian. I've learned from Alec who runs my club. He's been a big input in my training, but I don't look at other trainers and like, I just, if we're having a conversation and I learn from you while we're talking, then yeah, perfect, sweet. And you could say, this guy's amazing. Like, I want to see you training. I want to see what you can do. And I can see by how you're moving and what your dog's doing. I can see that myself. I don't need you to tell me what qualifications or how long you've been doing it, because that don't mean shit to me.
Right.
You get me?
Like, there's a few people that I watch, and they don't have to say anything to me. I just look at how he's moving, the results that he's getting with his dog, and then if I see it repeatedly, there's something in his system that I'm gonna be interested in. Like,
Yeah.
do you know Calvin Wilburn?
No.
Okay, well, I'll send you his page after we get off of this. But he's another one, that a guy that I look at his training and I see him do with pet dogs, competition dogs. Almost every dog that he touches is getting the same results. So it's not like you have this one-off dog and had a system where somebody kind of coach you along. Whatever you're doing, working consistently.
Yeah, and that's what I'm. And look, there's hundreds of good trainers. There's loads of amazing dog trainers. There's people I see, the perfection guys. They're sick what they do, right? April, she's up north. She's one of the best women in the country at PSA. Her obedience is fire. Obviously, there's Jace, there's Alec. There's the whole team there. There's people that aren't actually trainers. There's that are just people with dogs that are an absolute fire. I rate them just as much. So I think that I like to see. I like to see what you're doing, how you're working, and I will tell like that's amazing. But also, I'm not one that's going to sit there like I'm higher up than anyone else.
Right,
Like
right,
I just will go and listen. If someone asks me for help because they know I can help them, or maybe I can try, then I will. But I'm not going to sit there and like put my views on people or tell anyone that this way is better because half this all the stuff that I've done just happened. We just went through the steps and the phases, and it's been hard, it's been good, it's been fun. I've been angry, upset, frustrated, but I'm here now and smashing it, right?
yeah. And you're doing super, super, super good for yourself. You're getting out there. I think you're gonna be once you hit the field, your work's gonna show and it's gonna look really good.
Oh,
So
hopefully. I'm praying. I'm praying.
it will, man. You put the work in. Anything that you put the work in and continue to do. I do jujitsu every day. I'm getting better every day.
Yeah.
So I try to tell my kids the same. Anything that you do repeatedly, the difference between good and great is time spent.
100%, man, 100%, and that's exactly it. Like, and that's why I don't know. That's why I find it hard to like pinpoint people and say what's really good because yeah, I feel like I have to see it. I have to be there. I have to feel that. Like, it's a lot about for me because you can train a dog so high level but beat the shit out of it, right?
Right. I get you.
So and 90% of people will be like, whatever works, whatever, they don't give a shit. To me, that means something different. That's
Right.
that's you know, you can have a really hard-headed dog, you can have a really strong dog that you can just correct and do whatever, and it just works for you.
Yeah,
Or
and
like
it's not work
do
forever.
that do that to a do
You
that
know?
to a do that to a dog that you can't do that to. You know what I mean? Like a soft dog, do that to a softer dog, but you can't because that's the way that you've learned to train, right?
Right.
So like, I just feel like that you can have the mix of both, but I feel like there's so many good styles of training. There's so many good people. There's so many people that are so underrated. You know, that like I said, there's people that aren't even dog trainers that I know they're just going to be amazing. You just the attitude, just the way they work,
Right.
and their wants to go forward. That's good enough for me, and I'll help them for nothing because I like appreciate that attitude. When I started, no one would help me for nothing. I wouldn't be able to ask how to get my dog to stay in a down without having to fucking subscribe.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
you know what I
Yeah, that's
mean?
what I try to do. I try to help everybody, man. And even though sometimes it seems like it comes back to haunt you,
Yeah, of
but
course.
I love it.
Yeah, like
I like
obviously,
giving it back.
there's like there's I'd always try and help people, and but there is a point where it's like, mate, you might as well just come and train. You might as well just come and train. Like also it's easier in person. I get that you get a lot of that shit, I know, but there was a time when all I wanted was a little bit of help. And I didn't know what I was doing, right? And nobody gave me the time of day. And now I train their dogs. So that's what I would say to people is like, it's not about you just get your head down, just do that work and you'll fly.
Yeah. Man, you're definitely an inspiration, man. We're about to wrap it up here. It
Yeah, I
was
appreciate
great talking to you, man. And I want to get back on after you get your PDC or your one or something like that. We could just
it.
talk about that.
100%, 100%. I'll be not so nervous,
Yeah, it won't be so bad. Once you get on the field one time, it kind of like
Yeah. I just
the
need to
more
get
you
out.
get the jitters kind of. Yep, and
Mm.
you just start like just putting PDCs on like clients' dogs and stuff.
Yeah.
You'll be
Test
good.
All right, man. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, thank you for having me though, because it means a lot that you even wanted to do it with me, man.
No problem, man. Take
I
it easy.
appreciate it. I'll see you soon.
Yep, yep.